If there is a topic that everyone and at the same time no one actually talks about, it's money. So in today's episode, we're ready to make a small yet mighty shift to improve our financial habits. Join us on the Senior Grab podcast as Sameera Singh shares insights on defining your money personality and maneuvering through the economics of relationships to transform your financial life. Hi, and welcome to the Scenic Route podcast, where we believe in embracing life's journey with purpose, curiosity, and a bit of putty humor. I'm one cool mom, and I'm always looking out for that perfect slice of gluten-free rhubarb pie. Every week, I get the joy of sitting down with dreamers and doers who dare to take the road less traveled in pursuit of their own magic. Together, we dive into the inspiring stories of soulful entrepreneurs and visionary leaders who boldly share their beliefs, lessons, and fuck-ups. Excited? So am I. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And now, let's take this conversation off the beaten track.
Sameera Singh is a business strategist, money coach, and author based in London. Her mission is to empower business owners to transform their relationship with money and break through to six figures. She helps women build authentic six-figure businesses aligned to their authentic money personality and values, so they can create freedom in their lives and leave their unique mark on the world. She also has a book called Money Mastery on creating a business aligned with your money personality. Sam, hi, welcome to the Scenic Route. How are you?
I'm good, Jennifer. How are you doing? I must start by complimenting the name of your podcast. It's so beautiful. It's one of the most
you
I've ever heard.
Oh, now you're just flattering me. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a spur of the moment thing where I'm like, yeah, I was talking to my coach at the time and I was like, it's really about like the journey. Like, I'm always taking this, like whenever I travel, I always be like, nah, I'm taking the scenic route because it's always more interesting, right? Like, this is actually it. But I'm open. And when I heard like, oh, Sam is coming on the podcast, I'm like, yes. Because you have a book called Money Mastery. So brace yourself, we're going to talk all things money today. But Sam, can you give us like a big, it's kind of like an introduction of who you are, the crossroads, the scenic route you took that led you to who you are today and what you're doing?
Thanks, Jennifer. Yes, so I'm Sam or Sameera, but most people call me Sam. I'm a money coach based in London. I became a money coach because just like most women, I have had lots and lots of money mindset issues. You think of an issue and I have had it. And because I was working through those issues, I just felt it was my mission in life to help other women who go through the same issue, because everyone goes through money mindset issue. But as women, we have some specific issues which are very, very women specific and which you see more in women than you see in others. That's what made me a money coach. And I really feel that being a money mindset coach is like being a fitness expert or a fitness junkie, because you have to keep working on your mindset. It's not as if you have worked on it once and then it's all done. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, when you are trying to get fit, you reach one level, then you still have to keep doing the work to either stay at that level.
And you have to maintain and you
go a step higher to, get more fit. So similarly with money, you have to keep working on your mindset. And once you reach a certain level, you have to maintain that level, or if you want to go to the next level, you have to almost start from scratch and get into that money fitness journey again.
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about entrepreneurship, right? That a lot of people who are starting out feel like, once I fixed this, I'm good. Fix this, whatever it might be, from almost, I'd say every one of my clients has had some kind of money mindset realignment over the course of working together. But the misconception is like, we feel once I've done this, I've healed my money mindset, whatever it is, I'm done, I'm good. And it's like, that's not how it works, is it?
Exactly. And and that is the reason why, if you see, there have been studies that people who win a lottery or they get a windfall, that most of them within 2 or 3 years would have lost all that money because the money came before, the mindset was there, and they automatically shift into what is their habitual money mindset unless they're working on it. And you hear of so many lottery winners and you find out that they won millions, but now they are back to what they were before they won.
Oh, yeah, that is so true. I read that a lot of times. It's always kind of like these Daily Mail Boulevard stories, right? Like won 50 million pounds, lost 50 million pounds. Like why work us through that? Like why is that? Like, I mean, I haven't won the lottery, but I can relate. I'm someone who I'm an experienced spender, meaning I don't really care about things but experiences. So, like, I don't know, going out for dinner to a nice place, whatever, vacations. And I am tight with my finances. I'm good. But at the same time, when there's like a big extra chunk of money coming in, it goes to savings and stuff. And then I'm like, where did it go? Right? Like, so I don't know. I'm not like going back to broke, but walk us through that. Like, what are the challenges if we're suddenly having a new income stream or something selling really well? What do we have to be mindful of?
So there are two things we need to be mindful of. I'll come to your point about the fact that you like experiences later, because that ties up with the money personality part. Yeah. So one of the things why this happens is like, and this is a perfect example of I always see with my clients that something would be going really well, and either they would have a great launch, or like, they would, if they one-to-ones, they would be getting like 4 or 5 premier or VIP one-to-ones in a month, but something will happen. Suddenly, like, it's almost like a self.
You get an unexpected bill or something like that.
Exactly. And this is often what it is it's a manifestation of our money blocks. And our money blocks often end up, because of our money blocks, we end up sabotaging our success. And our money blocks can be things like, sometimes women are afraid of success because they think that being successful will make them less popular, or they will start earning more than their partner, or their or they
have like deep-rooted
insecurity
ideas of, and like deep-rooted ideals or ideas of who women are supposed to be, I mean, it's not that long ago we couldn't hold a checkings account. Like,
exactly. And also it's just like things like, like women, as women, we often don't trust ourselves with money. So your subconscious brain is going, my God, like, I'm getting all this money, but I feel I can't be trusted with it. So I'm actually going to like, self-sabotage by doing something that this money stops coming. Also, there's this there's one bone which, if I trained to be an actor, but if I ever get a chance into Hollywood, I have one bone to pick. You always see that women, if you see them in movies or media, a rich woman is never a nice woman. So there's always this thing about that if you are a rich woman, so if you've seen any movies, a rom-com, the rich woman is always the vamp. The
nasty one, the mean bitch. Yes, that is so
true. And then she realizes at the end of the movie or end of the TV series that money is not everything and something emotional is more important. So that is other thing which we are often told as women, and which we have ingrained in our subconscious, that if you're rich, either you become unlikable or people automatically stop liking you, or you almost become like unfeminine.
Oh. Which is, of course, hard because we're all trained to be likable because we're women. So if we subconsciously believe that having money, a lot of money, will make us unlikable, we try to not become unlikable and do anything kind of like against us.
It's like we're all like, secretly none of us wants to be like Jennifer Aniston's character in the morning show. Like, we're all scared that if we get money, we'll turn into her, but she's fabulous, right?
She's amazing.
So
Yes.
so that is so we all have, and money blocks, you have to really delve into people's subconscious, because a lot of money blocks which we have, they come before we were 7, because you also see money blocks.
Yeah. The formative years.
Exactly. And because you also see money blocks from what you were told as a child, as what you were taught in school. For example, if your parents had a very strained relationship with money, or you saw that your parents, one of your parents came from a well-to-do family and the other one didn't, and they had different views about money, and they had that tension in their relationship because of money, you automatically also engross that, and you almost go like, oh, money is a source. Like, if I have money, it's either it will create tension, or you also think that, money means having a dispute with your loved ones or with your family.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. I remember, we were growing up, we were typical middle class family. And I just still remember, my parents, they were not arguing about money per se, but there were just really, there weren't any light talks about money. Money would only come up when money would be tight, or when we would need saving for a new car or for a vacation, whatever. But always in a really tense, not fun situation. So I always thought okay, having much money is stressful and makes people tense and why would you want that?
Exactly.
Until I realized, actually, it's fun. It can be fun, but you really have to, do a lot of deep.
Exactly. And also, for example, something I remember I was told, and a lot of people are told, that if you ask for a new toy or new dress or something, that you said things like, you just got one, money. We don't have money growing on trees. So you almost end up growing up thinking, and even regardless of how much money you are making, that spending money on your own self and your own experiences and things which bring you joy, it's a guilty thing to do, because that inner child inside you is still going, oh God, I was scolded off by my mom for asking for a new Barbie. Because that was my first thought when I saw Barbie. I suddenly a memory flashed. Oh, I remember my mom told me I could only have one Barbie.
Yeah, right. These are these things. And it's so interesting. I once I don't even remember now where it was, but it was a master class from someone. Oh, I'm so bad right now with names, but it was super interesting. She was like, think back of the first memory you can recollect of money.
Yes, exactly.
Of money in your life. That was so interesting. I was like, whoa.
I make my students do this, or my clients do this amazing exercise, and I'll come to my personalities after this, where I ask them to write in a paper all the memory they have about money, starting from exactly what I told you, starting from your first memory of money till your latest memory of money, which still triggers you. And it doesn't have to be big or small, just something which still triggers you after so many years, and write them all down. And then, then we would start basically go through each memory one by one, sit with it and forgive it, just to release it. Because forgiveness is not something which we do as a favor to others. When we forgive something, we're releasing that block, we're releasing that trauma which we have attached to that memory. And when you start doing it, you first time you do it, you go like, oh, I only have 9 things. But as you start getting deeper into this exercise, also suddenly when you're doing nothing, something will pop up in your head. Oh, I hated that when that friend made me pay for something which I didn't buy, or something small, just for small, but it still, irks you because you felt you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're still thinking about it 20, 30 years later, there's something there, right? Otherwise, it might not be so bright and fresh in your memory.
But this is a very strong exercise to try doing it. So make a list of all your memories and then go through each one of them. Sit with it, just feel what comes without getting too attached to the emotion. Feel what's coming, and then I do this Hawaiian technique or Ho'oponopono, where you forgive it. So you say that I forgive you, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. And with some memories, you would just need to do it once. But with some the deep-rooted ones, you'll have to do it quite a few times. And sometimes it takes months and years for people to get over it. But then those are the ones which will make, once you let go of them, they will have the biggest impact in your life, because that's where the most trauma is. It can be things like a painful divorce or someone defrauded you, things which are really painful.
Yeah, and it's interesting how you said before, like how like money mindset can show up, and I'm curious if we could talk about this a bit. How we've said, you had, obviously all your clients have money mindset challenges. Look, I mean, I'm not a money mindset coach. I work in branding, and even I have, like, I'd say almost all my clients at one point, I'm like, you should look into this. So what are the manifestations? What are the telltale signs that are maybe a bit subtle than winning 50 million and losing 50 million? Yeah, yes, you got a money mindset problem. But what are the more subtle telltale signs of people who are listening now, like, maybe, I should do a little digging there?
So I think the most common, and I'll come to money personalities after this, I promise. One of the most common signs which you would see is you feel almost, you have a pattern around money. So if you don't mind my saying, the way you said, right, that you get a big saving and suddenly you are like, where is it? For some people, it can be they're perpetually in debt. It has nothing to do, there's nothing personal, like they can have 100,000 pounds or they can have 100 pounds, or they can have million, but they will still be in debt. And most of them are quite, especially women, right? No woman tries deliberately to be in debt. They often there's an emotional reason why they are in debt, right? Women by nature usually don't get into risky ventures unless someone emotionally convinces them. They are very mindful of the fact that, especially if they have a family, what the impact of their financial decisions would be on their family. But you see this pattern that they would always be in debt. Or the other one which I had, and I still struggle with it. As I said, money mindset is a lifelong issue. Like, you never think there's enough. Like, you can have
scarcity mindset, like classic scarcity.
Always say that they would. It's not as much as like they can be too past it. Some people think they would never be enough, or some people think I can never have enough. Like my desires would always be more than what's coming in. And then because your subconscious is thinking that, it manifests in the fact exactly what you were telling earlier, that you do a super nice launch and you have like amazing cash coming in, but then there's a big bill because our subconscious programs our beliefs, and our beliefs perform our feelings and emotions, and our feelings and emotions basically determine how we act, which determines our reality.
Yeah.
So our reality is determined by basically what we believe and what we're telling ourselves. So if my subconscious is saying that there's not enough, but I've got this huge windfall, but my subconscious still believe that I'll never have enough in my life. So it has to do something to basically manifest this something so that money basically goes. So even that is not enough. So that is a big thing. But also things like, a lot of times you see women, they'll be like, oh, I'm trying every strategy in world, and but I'm not growing my business. I'm not still attracting my ideal client. And then you go like there are other people who are using the same strategies, but it's working for them. But more or less everyone uses the same strategy, but there's a reason why it only works for few people, not for everyone who uses them. Why some people would use the same strategy and create something so amazing, where some people would keep doing it, but they would still be stuck. It's almost like being an athlete, right? They all get the same nutrition, they all get the same coach, we get the same training, but only some make it to the top 5.
Yeah.
And that is also one of the big signs that you have an issue. The other one's also like almost a sense of fear around money, that and you see that in the fact that they would go like, oh, I don't manage my money. Like I have a joint account with my partner. He does everything. And I have some business, like clients who are business women, and they go like, I have a joint account. So my partner manages my money. And I'm like, but it is money coming from your business, which is that account.
Yeah. This is like no shame, no judgment. This is wild to me, right? But then again, I'm a bird child of divorce. So I'm like, you gotta have your own money.
No. So when you hear, exactly, right? And so when you hear things like, but your reality is very different from that, right? When you see things like this, you kind of wonder that, what is going on? And you start dwelling more deeply into it. Also, at the same time, you often find that there's some women who feel that they're not respected in their family as much as others because they don't earn as much as other members of the family, especially, a lot of women who are slightly, maybe let's say 2 generations older than us, and who were born to be bred, basically born to be homemakers. Which is amazing.
It's a different generation. Yes. And cultural differences.
So, when you start seeing these things, you start kind of thinking that something is not working. There definitely mindset issues. And we need to find out what the mindset issue is. And then you start the whole program about finding what the issue is and then releasing it. And the 2 parts to finding it then. The first is, of course, like all the blocks which you have around money. And the second is that's when your money personality comes in. So we have 8 money personalities, and your money personality is almost like your Myers-Briggs, which is,
yes. I'm an Enneagram 7, so no surprise I'm
ENFP. I can't remember.
ENFP.
That makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes.
So it's like but that's about how you communicate. So, and your money personality is how you relate to money. And your money personality determines what your set thoughts and feelings are about money, what your beliefs are around money. What are your 7
kind of like, what are your strengths?
And the 8 money personalities, and they're all very, very different. And they are basically, if you kind of look at them, you have one of the money personalities, the saver, which is like an inner banker. These are the people who are always trying to save, right? This is your friend who would annoy you when she goes to the movies because she will go and try to look at 3 deals to save 1 quid on popcorn.
Yeah, not me.
Either.
Not me.
You have visionaries, the inner idealist, which are people who basically, for them, money is a tool to bring change in world. So they almost have a love and hate relationship with money because they personally don't care about money, but they realize that if they have money, they can use it to change the world. So a lot of activists and people who run charities, they fall under this category.
Yeah, I can totally relate, right? Like, it's right. Like, the more money I make, the more, like, I know, 8 to 10% of my yearly income goes to charities. So I know the more I make, the more I can give to causes I care deeply about. So I can relate.
That is so amazing. Oh, well done, you. Then you have the superstars who are in a big shop. So these are the people for whom money is a way of standing on crowd. So these are the people who would, every time they go to a restaurant, or every time they buy a bag, or every time they get a new iPhone, or every time they fly on business class, it's all over the social media because for them, money is a way of standing out. Exactly. Okay. Then you have the uniters who are the relationship creators. For them, money is not important. Building relationships is more important, and money can be a result of building those relations. So you would often see people like us who provide services, you would see it in people they have this one client for years and years and years, and they have not increased their price with them, but the client stays with them, and they love having the client because they're prioritizing the relationship with the client, and the money is basically just an afterthought of what has come from that relationship. Then you have the rebels or iconoclasts, as I call them. These are the people who love making money, but by unconventional ways. So in the sense, like people who are gamblers, or also like people, people who love
Startup founders.
Perfect example. They would take something which is working, but they will try to change it, and it can go either really well, like Tesla, or not like to
really bad, like
or whatever it's called now. I can't keep up it.
I still call it Twitter. I'm sorry, like it's not.
Or Steve Jobs, like even like when he created Apple, no one has even thought about something like that. So these are the people.
Oh yeah.
Who will like come and shake our industry. Then you have the carers, and these are the people who use money. They hate spending on themselves, but they love to spend money on others. Money is a way of.
Okay, so stereotypical mom spending, right? Like not buying shoes for herself, but buying shoes for the kids.
Exactly. And then you have the sensualist, and I think you fall in this category. It is also one of my dominant my personalities. Sensualists are the people who love spending on feeling good. So they love spending on experiences, in having luxury meal, in wearing something very comfortable and nice. Like sensualist will also like to travel business class, but the difference is that superstar is doing that to basically stand out and show off. The sensualist is just doing because they want to be comfortable. So
yes, no, I can relate. Like this reminds me of this like so annoying. Are you on TikTok?
Yes, I am on TikTok.
You know that super annoying like quiet money fashion styles.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it super reminds me of that, right? Like I have designer bags, and I like those bags, but I hate the bags with the big logos on. It's just like, I don't know, not my style. Like, so I'm more the Chloe girl. There's just like a nice Chloe on there. So I feel that's kind of like the similar vibe, right? Like you like the same things with maybe similar changes, but your energies behind it are
exactly. So for example, like my sister, bless her, for my birthday, she just she wanted to give me a Stella McCartney bag. And I love Stella McCartney because I just love her ethos about, because I'm mostly plant.
Yeah, she does.
She's environmental friendly, and like she does. She doesn't use as leather. And when I went to her showroom, I was appalled because all the bags had this like huge gold logo saying Stella McCartney with the gold thing on the top, on the handle. And I'm like, I would die rather than to ever like carry Stella McCartney or not. And then I found like a more discreet one, and that's what I'm doing. So exactly. So like, like you get what I'm saying here.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Like it's also, I don't know. Yeah, it's one thing if you fly business class because, I don't know, you want to work and you need more space, or you feel more comfortable traveling, or if you want to feel business class, fly business class because it makes people tell something about you.
Exactly. And like, or you just want to be comfortable, right? Like, I just want to be comfortable. I just like having my glass of champagne and watching boring movies on it.
I never, before I had kid, my partner, we never got the point of like those luxury all-inclusive resorts. Like, we're like, what's the point of that? Right? That's not how we travel. Oh boy, it's the only way we travel since
I can imagine. Oh my God.
It's like so good.
And then you have the last one, which is a ruler. And for them, it's all about making money in the sense that they want to leave a legacy. It's about building an empire.
Okay, so it's really about the money. So for the most types, it's not per se about the money, but what money can mean, buy, do. And for the rulers, it's really their money as the
money or building a legacy. So like they want to build empires. They want to leave something. They want to create something solid. this thing, right? It's with either building a legacy or building something of their own because they're the ruler, or it's about having lots and lots of money. So these are your money personality types, and we all fall under one of them. There is no right or wrong money personality type. We all have the most dominant money personality type, and we also have two other money personalities apart from the most dominant one, which also impacts it. So, for example, like you can be I'm a ruler, but I'm also, my sensualist is actually very close to my ruler, and they often clash. My boyfriend is very interesting. He is a saver. He's a big saver. So she's a saver, ignoclast.
Yes. Yep. I can imagine the conversation you have because we have similar.
And a sensualist. So he's always having to struggle for that. One side of his brain is going to, oh my God, I need this experience. Like, this is like amazing. But the other one is going, oh, this is very expensive.
Yeah. And I don't know if this goes for you too, but like a conversation we have often is our level of financial safety is the same, right? Like I feel perfectly safe when, when I have my retirement account that's filled and we have like a 1K immediate emergency fund and like 4 or 5 months expenses. And then like, I feel safe. That's fine. And he would rather have like a year to kind of like feel safe.
That's definitely a saver. You can take
for sure.
You can take out, if you go, I'll send you the link. I think I have said it as a part of this podcast.
Yes, we will link it in the show notes. The assessment to find the money personality. Yes, everyone.
And you should do it with your husband because it's very interesting. Because I often I think it's her. I mean, I don't specialize in it, but for anyone who wants, I'm opening it out. Anyone who wants to specialize in it, this is a big field about spouses having different money personality types. It's a different topic. Imagine.
Yes, we're going to do another podcast episode.
Like that.
Because I feel that's like.
But then it also impacts a business. So, for example, imagine if you are a business partnership with someone, you are a saver, but your partner is let's say a superstar or a sensualist, and you are trying to, everything that you're doing in your business, you're trying to cut the cost and you're going for the cheapest alternative or try to do it yourself. But if it's a sensualist, the sensualist is going, I want an easy life. If we can afford a VA, let's get a VA.
Yeah, what we can outsource, we outsource, whatever. Right?
I do think we enjoy.
Yes, I feel seen.
We enjoy.
I feel seen.
Or if the person is basically a celebrity, they want to basically do the launch in the most expensive place. They want the most glitzy marketing, or it will just not work. So
yeah, it will clash a lot of the time. So this is super helpful to kind of like have a basic understanding of why you're clashing and then how we can bridge this. Like, because I'm sure like same is also not necessarily working, right? If we have two essentialists, we're just like, happy party.
Yeah.
Right? So how can we how do we balance?
Understanding. So it is just like, like for example, like I am an ENFP, but I found out one of my old bosses was not. And I totally understood it. Once I understood, I used to take it quite personally. But before I realized what his personality type was, then I was like, oh, that's what he wants. He wants more detail than I do. It's nothing to do with him personally disliking me. It's to do with how his brain is wired, right? So it's the same thing, like it's about understanding the other person. And that's why doing that assessment becomes so important, and understanding what their strengths and what their thoughts. And I don't use the word weakness, but the shadow side about the monies. And we all have a shadow side.
Every time. Yes, absolutely.
So like after I got into, like I have been with my partner for years. And after I got into like money personalities, I kind of realized that, like all these things which used to annoy me when he was trying to what I used to think was being cheap. And he was not. He was just being true to his money personality type. And when he thought that I was super extravagant to spend 80 quid on a shampoo and conditioner because it smelled nice and I felt like, my hair felt nice. He thought I was just being ridiculously extravagant.
Yes. And it's handing you like the Pantene Pro V and you're like, here.
Exactly. And then it's just for understanding like what the money personality types are and just knowing that people are acting like that and meeting in the middle way. And as you said very correctly, right? If you both are exactly the same, whether it's a professional relationship or a romantic relationship, it will not work. Imagine two rulers together, they will bite each other's head off. Or two savers together, so you need that difference. And at the same time, because it's a money personality, plus we also have the two other dominant personalities after that. It's also that finding that balance that maybe one of your dominant ones is actually same. So that's like a common point, right? So you definitely have a saver somewhere because you did say that you like to, you do all, like there's some people who don't care about savings. They're happy living paycheck to paycheck. But then, again, I don't judge.
Yeah. No. Like this is completely judgment-free zone. And I'd say I was more dad. I'd say that changed for sure after I had my son. Right? Then I was more of like, oh, okay. Maybe like just realizing that the paycheck to paycheck, it was not doing me and my nervous system any good. It was just every time I don't know, it was time to pay the bills, I would be just restless and anxious and just like, So I realized that's not good. We're not going to do that. We're going to stop that.
No, exactly. So, but his is obviously very dominant from what you were saying, 1 year, like.
Surely more definitely than mine. Absolutely.
And this also then comes to like your business strategies, because as you can see, people are have such different attitude towards money. And if you start giving them cookie cutter business strategies, it's not really going to work, right? The same business strategy, for example, the same marketing strategy for a saver or a centralist or a superstar is never ever going to work. Or for a carer, if you tell a carer that, you need to go on your stories every day and, talk to your community about how you're spending your money, or they'll be like, I don't care. And also the business model. So for example, someone who is a carer or a uniter, they would probably feel always more comfortable doing one-to-ones. They may not feel that comfortable doing like a group program.
Like an anonymous online course.
Or a group program. Like
interesting. Oh yeah, interesting.
Because they want to build a relationship with their clients. But a ruler or a celebrity would perhaps be really good in a group program because they're building their empire, and a celebrity because they're center of attention. So it impacts all aspects of your business, and that's why I always tell people that cookie cutter business strategies don't work, and that's why if you're just you're seeing someone on Instagram and
yes, that's why you're on the Scenic Route podcast, where like I always telling people cookie cutter just is not cutting it,
and you can tell people to do things which are not aligned because our values towards money is determined by money personalities to a great extent. And you can always tell people that, you need to do this, and they will do it for a bit, but they will never be able to do it consistently if it's something which aligns with their values. So it's better to be yourself and maybe have a slower growth to slower scaling to where you want to be, but do it in a sustainable way rather than trying to do something which doesn't align with who you are, and then reaching a goal and then just basically having that sabotaging yourself because
or burnout because it took everything from you that you had to get there. Oh yeah, I can so agree. Right? Because it's always you're trying, and I see that especially a lot of people who are new to online business world getting into that trap, right? Because we're all every day, all day, we're marketed this online course to fix your problems, that business strategy to fix whatever, right? And it's just like, you're like, oh, okay, these people earn millions, so they know what they're talking about, whatever. And you do that, and it's just like, maybe not working at all, or it's working completely against you, and it's just really having more knowledge about how you're wired can really save you from a lot of heartache and financial spending.
No, exactly. And keep working on your, what I call as your internal money thermostat. So we all have internal money thermostat. So it's like a company, it's very easy to make up to, let's say, £5,000. And because whatever job they do, they will make that £5,000 or business they do. But then to make it to £10,000 a month, you need to rewire what I called is your money thermostat or money blueprint. Thermostat, because, once you increase the thermostat or adjust it in the room, the temperature automatically goes there and stays, if you have one of those automatic ones, it stays there. So then you basically increase it to 10 for a month, and you have to then rewire yourself to do it. Then you do it, whatever level you want to go, whatever it is that you want to do. But it is always like, doing, as you said, doing that internal work, which can save you a lot of time later.
So I can already hear, if this would be like a live radio call-in show, I would hear phones right now of like people to be like, Sam, I want to dial to 25 pounds a month. How can I do that? What do I have to dial on my thermostat?
So I think the first thing you'll have to look is, apart from doing a money personality, which will give what your thoughts about our money, but the first thing we'll have to see is why you're not earning why you are not earning £25,000 now. So what has had it stopped you? So if you say that I'm not educated enough, there are a lot of people who are not educated. They're earning that. So you always have to. I always use that as an inspiration. That if like there's someone like me, I'm like, oh, if this person can do this, like why can't I? Why can't, rather than saying that, oh, I can never do it, I like, why not me? If she can do it, why not me? So first is why you're not doing it. So we go through basically all the money blocks and money sabotages that you have, and we find out a way of how we can, rewire them. And there are a lot of exercises which you can do, both like on your beliefs and NLP and hypnosis. Working on the beliefs is the fastest, I believe, because it's a more sustainable way of doing things. So you have a look at that. The second thing you see is you already start becoming the person who earns $25,000 a month. So you go like, you think about what does this person thinks, feels, how do they act, how do
they carry themselves through the day?
Is she a person who, for example, like when I was trying to reach my last level of income, and like even now when I'm trying to reach my next level of income, I always think, will this woman actually, like, when you go out with your girlfriends and you had a drink, will she actually be bitching about a friend who is not there? No, because she's so happy in her world that she's almost like Barbie, right? But she's in the first half of the movie. Not the second half, the first half of the movie.
I had the same conversation with myself. Like, no, she will not bitch about them. She will not gossip about them.
So, at home. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and think about what is she passionate about? What does she cares about? And try, and I'm talking she because talking about women, but it applies, all of this applies equally to man. And then you start doing as much of it as now. So yes, you can't maybe buy a designer handbag, but you can clean your handbag. You do what I call is incremental increases. So if you suddenly go and, like I always tell, when I hear someone say that, oh, my previous money coach told me that go buy a designer bag to feel rich, but now I feel really bad because I put it on my credit card, and I'm like, that's the worst way to do it. You do incremental increase because first of all, your mind cannot take it. And
like if you go from your thermostat from 5,000 a month to, I don't know, let's say 100K a month, your entire body is like all over the place,
but
right?
You do small incremental changes. So you kind of go like, or maybe she takes better care of herself. So, like I'll always, at least if I can't wash my hair every day, I'll at least make it an attempt to put some dry shampoo on it before brush it and before I go on a call. And you try doing as many of those things as possible, and you will find that slowly you will start increasing it. So after a while, you kind of go like, oh, I can do this better. Like I can do this. So it is already becoming the person who you want to be. It's almost like, I don't know, like, have you, like, if anyone here who has done a corporate job, or they know that they always tell you that to go for the promotion at the next level, You have to become that
always
level.
And you want to have the corner office and I had the corner office and it was fucking miserable.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Like, for example, if you are a manager who wants to become a director, you have to become the director as a manager, even though you're not getting that salary. So it's the same. I feel sometimes that people in corporate world actually do it much better than people like us in business world, because they're trained, right? That they always have someone telling them, but you need to do the job before you get the job. So it's almost like that. You need to become that person before you actually become person, and before you actually start seeing the money coming in.
You know what? Like, besides from that, like what we said, like we're not bitching about the person not here or not gossiping about it. You know what was one of the other major things that I released and I'm still currently doing? I'm like, people who are really good with big money, they're not spending so much time going back and forth whether they should spend that money or not. So I really lowered the time of me thinking about whether I should spend that money or not. I mean, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I would have something in my cart or sign up for a course, whatever, not even like big money, maybe $300-400 for something. And I would think about it for a week or 2 weeks. And now it's just like, yeah, let's do, I mean, we're smart, we're capable, we can make decisions. And now I'm just like, yes, okay, I want to do this. Do you have the money for it? Yes, go.
Yeah. And that's such a good point. And also one of the things which I had to change in myself, and I'm still working on it, is I found out that a woman who, let's say, makes more than 500K a year, she would be very generous with the causes, but she would never be taken as a fool for money. So she would know that where, like, she would not have subscriptions where she doesn't know, like, so if I have 500,000 coming every year, I would have investments and stuff. So she wouldn't be like that, oh, I don't know where my investments are going or what's happening to them. So I don't have.
She's in care. She's in control.
Exactly. Yeah. She has taken her power back with respect to money. And I was like, okay, I don't have big investments, but I can do that same thing with my subscriptions. So I can see, like, go through a subscription list and see, like, have I used it? And
yes, such a point.
It's very interesting because I was doing what I call this as a part of decluttering exercise. I do it with my clients, and I was doing it for myself. And today I saw my Wi-Fi bill, and I was like, what is this extra? It's only $6 a month, but I'm sending a signal to the universe that I can't be trusted with money, because what is this extra $6? And then I was like, it's for extra fast landline, and I don't have a landline. So why have I been paying that for 2 years?
Yeah, right. Same. Every year I go through my descriptions and like, no, I actually, just this year I canceled the Psado because I just wasn't using it enough, and be like, I don't know, whatever I thought I needed, but anyway, that's a different. So that's a really good point of really going through, your subscriptions, and it might not be about the £6, right? But just seeing,
it's about sending a message to the universe.
Yes, and taking it seriously, taking the power back.
Exactly. So it's about, so that for me, that was a big thing, that a woman who, she would be very, very generous, as you said, right? You give, I'm so inspired that, that you give 10 to 12, 20% of your earnings in charities. But so she would be very generous, but she would appreciate money. She would spend it on the things which are dear to her, but she would not be taken for a fool where her money is concerned, because she will never reach she'll never become a
yes,
500.
Yes,
I was doing that.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, I think this is such an inspiring note to end our conversation, to really be mindful of where you can just reclaim your money powers, right? Whether it's might be small with subscriptions or bigger with investments, it doesn't matter, right? You can start right where you're at. I think that's a super powerful message. Sam, where can people get in touch with you? Where do you hang out online? Where can people meet you?
Thank you for asking. So you can find me on Instagram at in.her.successful.shoes. And you can email me at sameera@sameerasinghcoach.com. I'm sure Jennifer would put
We'll
there.
link it.
And you can also find me on my free Facebook community or take the pre-assessment to find a money personality. I love hearing back from people when they take that assessment to find out what money personality there is.
That's so interesting.
Thank you.
I get that. And I've always one last question for anyone who's on the Cynic Route. What book are you currently reading?
What book I'm currently reading? I am a total bookworm. So I'm rereading The Midnight Library. It's one of my favorite books. Now, and it's so beautifully written.
Oh, yes. The Midnight Library is gorgeous.
I love it. So I'm rereading that. And I love reading any kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the latest on my list. The other one I'm going to read after I finish that is I just saw this BBC thriller called Wolf. It's based on Wolf. It's based on the serial killer. So I sorry now.
I love BBC. I've loved BBC crime things. I've never heard of that. Okay,
I love the crime, but I'm British. So I'm very biased towards BBC.
No, but seriously, I mean, they have great crime series. BBC crime series are really cool. Like, they've done an amazing series. Okay, so good. So now we have what we have to watch next and also what we have to read next. This is amazing. I like that. That's very good. Hey, Sam, thank you so much for this conversation around money. Thank you so much for being on the Scenic Route with me.
Thank you, Jennifer. It was my pleasure. An absolute honor to be here and to be in front of your amazing audience, and your energy is so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And just like that, we've reached the end of another journey together on the Scenic Route podcast. Thank you for spending time with us. Curious for more stories or in search of the resources mentioned in today's episode? Visit us at scenicroutepodcast.com for everything you need. And if you're ready to embrace your Scenic Route, I've got something special for you. Step off the beaten path with my Scenic Route affirmation card deck. It's crafted for those moments when you're seeking courage, yearning to trust your inner voice, and eager to carve out a path authentically, unmistakably yours. Pick your Scenic Route affirmation today and let it support you. Excited about where your journey might lead? I certainly am. Remember, the Scenic Route is not just about the destination, but the experiences, learnings, and joy we discover along the way. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on the Scenic Route again.